post-Thanksgiving season, or as I personally like to call it, Yuletide craziness. One might even question why we celebrate Thanksgiving at all, which actually leads us to the subject of this review, Santajaws, a 2018 horror comedy that has made some splashes on Amazon Prime in the last week or so. Now, as absurd as the idea of a Christmas-themed shark movie may sound, I gotta say that given how well entrenched the shark horror genre is, and the holiday horror genre is, it probably was inevitable that they would come together to take a little bite out of the holiday season. The plot centers on a teenager named Cody, an aspiring comic artist who hopes to make it big with his own unique creation, Santajaws, a tale of a mutated Christmas shark. When Cody gets denied the chance to attend the Christmas party at the comic store where he works by his family, he takes solace in his creation with the aid of a special pen that was gifted to him by his grandfather. Only this is no ordinary pen. As you can probably tell, it possesses certain qualities that cause his creation to come to life to wreak some Christmas chaos. Now, as utterly absurd as the concept is, I actually have to confess, I ended up enjoying this film. It's totally self-aware B-grade schlock, which really is the best, and most especially, it is just a fresh and different take on the killer shark genre. This is not a science experiment gone wrong like Frankenshark. It is not some ancient monstrosity brought back like the Meg. No, this is literally a fantasy brought to life. Certainly, I've never seen that in a shark movie before. I would actually even go so far as to say that this could very well be the Ernest Scared Stupid of the holiday horror genre. There's a few scenes that I would say are maybe a little too graphic for the wee ones in the audience, but for the most part, this film really does not get all that particularly bad. There's certainly no nudity, very little in the way of sexual innuendo, and actually not even much cussing. I suppose that would give it an automatic star reduction from Joe Bob Briggs. But overall, it's a fun movie. I would have to say the actors walked into it clearly knowing what kind of project they were attached to, but still giving it mostly their best. If I had any particular complaint, it would have to be about the pacing, because it is rather choppy and there are a number of times where they just get slotted down into unnecessary exposition that gets pretty dull pretty fast. The kill scenes are for the most part satisfying. If not, they could have perhaps been a bit more graphic, but again, this is actually a family film, done relatively right. Santajaws itself, I gotta say, is, pretty absurd looking, but also kind of fun. A shark with a Santa hat on its fin, wrapped in Christmas lights, and with Rudolph reindeer noses for its eyes. And in point of fact, before the end of the film, spoiler alert, it even ends up having a candy cane horn. I especially enjoyed the fact that there are some pretty self-aware jabs at the shark genre, such as the fact that Santajaws is preceded not by your stereotypical Jaws ripoff theme, but rather by the sound of sleigh bells, and that there are times where you can audibly hear Santajaws laughing to itself. Overall, I would actually have to rate this film a solid 3 out of 4 stars, because the sheer creativity and originality more than makes up for any other shortcomings it may have. So, as always, folks, I just want to urge you to take your precautions as we enter the holiday season. It's going to be cold and flu season before we know it, so wear your mask, wear your gloves, and keep your distance. I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey so far. It's been a lot of fun, and we got some more holiday horror coming up. And certainly, I'm actually going to root for a sequel, Santajaws 2. As always, folks, be drink and be scary. I'll see you next time. Ho, ho, ho!